Before you continue, take a breath. Not because something dramatic is about to happen, but because your mind has been carrying more weight than it admits. You've been strong for a long time, quietly strong. The kind of strength that doesn't ask for attention, doesn't complain, and doesn't always get recognized. But strength like that leaves marks. You learned how to keep going even when things felt unclear. How to stay composed while questions stayed unanswered. How to move forward without knowing exactly where you'd land. That wasn't easy. And yet, here you are. Still standing, still thinking, still aware. Lately, you may have noticed a strange feeling. Not sadness, not excitement, just awareness. As if something in you has shifted slightly, but you can't fully explain what it is yet. You're not restless. You're not impatient. You're alert. It feels like your life is pausing you on purpose, as if it's saying, "Pay attention here. Something matters." This pause isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're being asked to notice what you usually rush past. Your reactions, your habits, your inner dialogue. Things that once felt automatic are now asking to be examined. You may realize that some goals you chased were never really yours. They were borrowed expectations, inherited pressure, survival decisions made in earlier versions of you. And now those old motivations don't fit anymore. That can feel confusing. When you outgrow something, it doesn't disappear cleanly. It lingers. It questions you. It tries to pull you back into familiarity. But familiarity isn't the same as alignment. You're starting to sense the difference. You're more selective with your energy, more protective of your time, less willing to explain yourself. Not because you're closing off, but because you're tuning in. You don't want noise anymore. You want meaning. You don't want intensity. You want clarity. And clarity often begins when you allow yourself to stop pretending you're fine with what no longer feels right. There is a quiet honesty forming inside you. It shows up when you say no without guilt, when you pause before reacting, when you choose rest instead of proving a point. These aren't small changes. They're signs of recalibration. You're adjusting your life to match who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And that adjustment phase always feels uncomfortable at first, because you're standing between versions of yourself. The old one knew how to survive. The new one is learning how to live. This space in between can feel empty, but it's not. It's where clarity gathers. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is falling apart. You're just becoming more honest about what you need and what you're no longer willing to carry. And this is only the beginning.
You may not talk about it much, but you've been shedding layers lately. Old reactions, old expectations, old versions of yourself that worked once, but don't work anymore. And letting go hasn't been dramatic. It's been quiet, almost subtle. You didn't announce it, you didn't explain it, you just stopped. Stopped chasing certain validations, stopped engaging in conversations that drained you, stopped forcing yourself into places where your presence felt optional. That kind of change doesn't come from anger, it comes from clarity. You realizing something important. Not everything deserves access to you. And that realization can feel lonely at first, because when you grow, the room often gets quieter. Some people don't know how to meet you at this new level of awareness. Some connections were built on who you were, not who you're becoming. That doesn't mean they were wrong. It just means they were temporary. And temporary doesn't mean meaningless. It means complete. You've also noticed that your patience has changed. You're not rushing outcomes anymore. You're not begging timing to hurry up. You're not panicking when answers take longer. You've learned that forcing clarity only creates confusion. So now you wait differently, Not passively, not helplessly, but attentively. You listen more. You observe patterns. You notice how your body reacts to people, environments, decisions. Your intuition has gotten sharper, not louder, sharper. You can feel when something is misaligned before your mind fully understands why. And instead of arguing with that feeling, you're starting to respect it. That's growth. You've also been questioning things you used to accept without thought. Why you push yourself so hard. Why rest used to feel like guilt. Why silence once made you uncomfortable. Those questions are opening doors, because beneath them is a deeper truth. You don't need to earn your worth anymore. You don't need to suffer to justify your existence. You don't need chaos to feel alive. Peace isn't boring, it's unfamiliar. And unfamiliar always feels strange before it feels safe. You're learning how to sit with yourself without distraction, without needing to fix anything, without trying to become someone else. That's not laziness, that's integration. You're allowing all parts of you to exist in the same room. The driven part, the tired part, the hopeful part, the cautious part. Nothing is being pushed away anymore. And because of that, something inside you is settling. Not settling as in giving up, settling as in grounding. You're starting to trust yourself again. Your timing, your pace, your instincts. You don't need everything to make sense right now. You just need to stay honest with what you feel. Because clarity doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives in layers, and you are right in the middle of peeling one back. This phase may not look impressive from the outside, but internally, it's foundational. What you're building now will support everything that comes next. And there is more coming. Not rushed, not forced, but aligned.
And here's the part you don't hear often. This phase you're in is not meant to last forever. It's meant to reposition you. Everything slowing down right now is doing so for a reason. Your life is not stalling, it's recalibrating. Think about it. If things had moved faster, you would have carried old habits into new spaces, old expectations into new opportunities, old self-doubt into a future that needs confidence. So timing stepped in, not to delay you, but to protect what's coming. You're being taught how to move forward without dragging the past behind you. That's why you're learning restraint, why you're choosing silence over explanation, why you're okay not reacting immediately. These aren't weaknesses, they're skills. Soon, situations will arise where the old version of you would have panicked, over-explained, or compromised. And you'll notice something surprising. You won't. You'll respond calmly, clearly, without abandoning yourself. That's when you'll realize this season worked, not because it felt good, but because it made you solid. There will be moments ahead when things finally start aligning again. Opportunities, conversations, decisions that feel right instead of rushed. And when they arrive, you won't grab them out of fear. You'll choose them out of clarity. That's the difference. You're not becoming colder, you're becoming clearer. You're not losing people, you're losing friction. You're not falling behind, you're finally walking at your own pace. And here's the quiet truth. You didn't need fixing, you needed space. Space to hear yourself, space to reset your standards, space to remember that your life doesn't need to look loud to be meaningful. What's coming next won't ask you to betray this calm you've built. It will meet you at it. So trust where you are. Trust the pauses. Trust the version of you that chose honesty over speed. This season will make sense later, but for now, it's enough to know this. You're not lost, you're not late, and you're not behind. You're aligned. And that's how real stability begins.